You ever just look at an animal and wonder, how does that even work? Well, that's exactly what we're doing today. We're going to take a tour of the animal kingdom and really explore the incredible variety and, the brilliant design that our source material says is found in God's living creation. So let's just jump right in.
So our journey really kicks off with this pretty foundational idea from Genesis, right? This idea that humans were given dominion over every living thing. Now, according to the source we're looking at, this isn't about, just taking over. It's actually about a responsibility to study, to understand, and to care for this amazing world all around us. It's really an invitation to be curious.
Okay, so you might be asking, where does science fit into all this? Well, our source makes a really interesting point. It argues that science and faith aren't enemies at all. In fact, science is this powerful tool we have to appreciate the wonders of creation. I mean, think about pioneers like Sir Isaac Newton. For them, science was like a window, a way to get a little peek into the mind of the creator and just stand in awe of the incredible design of the whole universe.
All right, first stop on our tour, we're heading into the Hall of Mammals. And here, we're going to see just how these creatures are, well, perfectly designed to live and thrive in literally every corner of our planet. I'm talking from the freezing Arctic all the way to the scorching desert.
Okay, check this out. It's a perfect example. We've got two animals living in two totally extreme opposite environments. First, the polar bear. Did you know it has black skin under all that white fur? It's to soak up every single bit of sun. And then, look at the fennec fox. Those enormous ears? They're basically personal radiators, pushing out heat to keep it cool in the desert. From the perspective of our source, this isn't just some random accident. It's purposeful design, built for survival. All right, next up, the carnivores. These are the hunters of the animal kingdom, and man, do they come equipped with a serious toolkit. Our source points to things like their sharp teeth and claws as just, clear evidence of a design that is perfectly suited for catching and eating their prey. And when you talk about carnivores, you gotta talk about cats. They're the ultimate specialists. They're the only truly carnivorous family out there, with that incredible night vision and, of course, the retractable claws. And what's amazing is the variety. From the huge solitary Siberian tiger all the way to social lions living in their prides. The whole cat family just showcases this remarkable range of predatory design. But being a carnivore isn't always about brute force and size. Just look at the otter. They are so playful and just incredibly smart hunters. I love this fact. To keep from drifting away when they're napping, they actually wrap themselves up in kelp. And get this, they use rocks as tools to crack open shellfish while floating on their backs. I mean, that is some serious ingenuity. Okay, let's switch gears for a second. We've talked about the hunters, now let's look at the grazers. And to really get these plant eaters, you have to understand this term, ruminants. So these are the animals that chew their cud, right? They have this special four-chambered stomach, which is basically like a super efficient factory inside them, designed to pull out every single nutrient possible from all those tough plants. And this whole ruminant design, it's the foundation for some of the most incredible creatures out there. You've got the giraffe, the tallest living animal on Earth. You've got the camel, with its humps storing fat, not water, by the way, for those long desert treks. Then there's the deer, with antlers that they shed and regrow bigger every single year. And don't forget the hippo. Its eyes, ears, and nostrils are all on top of its head, perfectly designed for living in the water. Each one is just a totally unique solution for a specific challenge in its environment. Okay, we're leaving the land behind now. Our tour is taking to the skies, and then we're gonna dive deep into the ocean. It's time to explore the masters of the air and the sea. I mean, we've all seen a bird fly, right? But have you ever really stopped to think about the incredible engineering that makes that happen? It's so much more than just wings. A bird's entire body, from its hollow bones to its super efficient lungs, it's just a masterpiece of flight design. So let's kind of look under the hood of this whole flight system. First off, their skeleton. Their bones are lightweight and hollow, but they're strengthened with these internal supports, almost like the struts you'd find in an airplane wing. So super strong, but light. Then you have their chest muscles. These things are so powerful they can make up a third of the bird's total weight. That's where the power comes from. And a special bone called a keel anchors those massive muscles. And to top it all off, their lungs are completely unique. They have this special system that lets them pull in the maximum amount of oxygen, even way up high where the air is thin. It's just a perfectly integrated system, all working together to get them in the air. And if you want to really appreciate the power of this design, just think about the Andean condor. Its wingspan is a massive 3.2 meters. That's over 10 feet wide. Just imagine the sheer engineering that takes to get a gird that big off the ground and soaring through the mountains. It's mind-blowing.
All right, from the sky to the sea, let's head underwater and meet one of the ocean's most famous apex predators, the great white shark. Our source really highlights this creature as a prime example of an animal that is just perfectly and fiercely designed for a life of hunting.
So, what's in the great white's toolkit? Well, for starters, it's the largest carnivorous fish in the world. It also has this brilliant camouflage. See, it's dark on top to blend in with the deep ocean from above, and it's light on the bottom to blend in with the bright sky from below. Throw in an absolutely insane sense of smell, and you've got a predator that can turn a totally calm patch of water into a hunting frenzy in a heartbeat. But wait, the shark family is actually full of surprises. Let's meet the whale shark, a total gentle giant that could not be more different from the great white. And this is just a fantastic example of the incredible diversity of design you can find even inside a single animal family.
Yeah, the whale shark is the biggest fish on the entire planet, but it is an absolute gentle giant. It's a filter feeder. That means it just kind of cruises slowly through the ocean with its massive mouth open. We're talking 1.5 meters wide, just filtering out tiny little plankton from the water. Just a peaceful giant swimming in an ocean full of predators.
Okay, for our final stop on the tour, we are entering the Hall of Curiosities. So get ready, because you're about to meet some incredible reptiles and honestly, some of the most unique and surprising mammals you have ever seen.
Lizards have some truly wild ways to stay off the menu. You've got the skink, which can just drop its tail, and the tail keeps wiggling to distract a predator while it gets away. Then there's the frilled lizard that puffs up its neck frill to look huge and terrifying. The chuckwalla will run into a crack in a rock and then inflate its whole body so it's wedged in tight. And then, and this one is crazy, the horned lizard can actually squirt blood from its eyes to scare off a predator. I mean, each one is just such a unique and clever survival strategy.
And speaking of defense, you have to see the pangolin. Our source calls it God's living armor, and you can see why. Its whole body is covered in these tough, overlapping plates. They're made of keratin, the same stuff as your fingernails. So when a predator gets close, it just rolls up into this tight, nearly impenetrable ball. Now that is a suit of armor.
What about the kangaroo? You know that iconic hop? It's not just a quirky way to move. It turns out, scientists have discovered it's an incredibly energy-efficient way to travel over long distances. So from our source's perspective, this is a perfect example of a design that is tailor-made for life in the huge, wide-open spaces of the Australian outback. But when it comes to just plain surprising designs, the platypus, it might just take the cake. It's like a mashup of a bunch of different animals, right? It's got the fur of an otter, the bill and webbed feet of a duck, and even though it's a mammal, it lays eggs. It is truly one of a kind.
So, how does our source explain a creature this strange? Well, this quote really gets to the heart of their view. The platypus isn't looked at as some kind of bizarre evolutionary accident. Instead, it's seen as an animal that has been specially designed by God to survive in the specific environment where it lives. So every single one of its quirky features is believed to have a very specific purpose.
So our little tour has shown us a world just full of incredible design. I mean, we've seen animals that are perfectly equipped for the most extreme climates, birds that are just marvels of aeronautical engineering, and creatures with defenses that sound like they came straight out of a fantasy novel. And all of this really brings us to a final question, something for you to think about. With all this incredible variety and this intricate design, what does it all reveal to you?